If you've started a new world, have a world that you haven't been playing for a long time, or just enjoy doing things in Minecraft manually, you're going to need to know these 20 plus tips that I have for you here today. First things first is once you've gotten your couple of basic tools from some wood, you might want to start finding some food. Really at this point, anything that you can eat is good. So sheep, chickens, pigs, cows, fish, or even knocking up grass so you can get seeds that you can then grow into wheat to make bread. Now just make sure for your meats, you go ahead and get yourself some cobblestone and make a furnace, because cooking that food will make it give you a lot more saturation for your hunger bar. Delicious. Next thing is to make sure you get enough wool by killing or shearing sheep so you can make a bed. Sometimes though, those sheep might not always match. So if you find sheep that don't match, remember that you can just pick a few flowers, and on Bedrock Edition anyways, you can actually re-dye wool to be whatever color you need. So now we have 3 red pieces of wool, we have 3 planks, and we can craft ourselves a bed. So once you have yourself a few things to smelt, there's a few ways to do that. But one tip a lot of people don't know about is it's actually most efficient if you're going to use wood as your fuel source to not just craft it into planks, but craft those planks into slabs. These slabs will last you the longest out of any way that you can do wood in terms of smelting down iron, food, and other objects that you get. But to get yourself going and getting that iron and coal and things of that nature to make torches and make new weapons and such, you're going to need a good place to go to do that. And while places like this can be a little dangerous, they're also typically going to be the best places to find things. But maybe we'll skip that area because that looks a little scary. And instead what we'll do is we'll go into this little cave right here. We can find ourselves lots of iron, coal deposits and such that are going to give us what we need to get started in the early game. You can see here I found some coal veins. Usually you'll find coal and iron in groups when you find it. So make sure when you do to get it all up. And usually big open caves like this are going to be great to do that in, because as you can see, we can kind of see far and wide here. We can see coal in a lot of different places, iron in different places, and overall this is going to be the best way for us to get those early game resources. Now once you found yourself enough iron to get yourself some iron tools and gear, go ahead and either dig or make a staircase down all the way to Y level -54, because you're going to want to find some diamonds. And I suggest if you want to make it easy for yourself to just drop straight down, go ahead and make a little 3-block like river thing right here in front of your ladder. That way you can just fall straight down into the water. You won't take any damage, and you can just get down a lot quicker. Now once at Y level -54, you're going to want to just go ahead and dig in a straight line. Eventually you'll run into some diamonds just like this, and you can start to make diamond equipment. If you're looking for the best way to find diamonds, I do have a video out on this recently, so you can optimize doing this as fast as possible. Another great tip I have is to play on a multiplayer server, which you can do with our sponsor, Sparkedhost. If you want the best way to play Minecraft with your friends or family, then a Minecraft server from Sparkedhost is your answer. A Minecraft server is a great choice as it has much less lag. It allows you to see much further in your world than a realm does, while also not requiring you to be online for others to play in it like a locally hosted world on your device does. To get started with Sparkedhost, browse through their different tiers of server, ranging from their very affordable budget series that offer better value per dollar than realms, or their main lineup of enterprise servers that offer amazing performance at competitive prices. Once you have your server type, amount of RAM, and any add-ons that you may want selected and purchased, your server is ready to play on. If you need any help, Sparkedhost has amazing customer support through their live chat on their website and on their Discord channel. Sign up today by clicking the link on screen now or in the description below, and be sure to use code Prowl at checkout to get 20% off your initial payment. Now, once you've settled in somewhere to call home, whether it be a house that you've made or a cave that you found that you like a lot, make sure you write down your coordinates. They're found in the top left-hand side of the screen, and they will help you make sure that if you go out exploring, you know how to get back home to your stuff. Now, if dark areas like this normally scare you to the point where it keeps you from exploring around, don't be ashamed to go into your settings. This will require you to turn cheats on, meaning you won't be able to earn achievements on your world anymore. But if you activate cheats, you can turn on keep inventory. At this point, you can go through, explore caves and fight mobs and do whatever you want. And your only penalty is that you get sent back to the last bed that you slept in. So if that's the thing that helps you explore around in your world, don't be ashamed. Just flip that little toggle switch and keep your inventory. Another thing you're going to want to do, which I've done here on my guide world, is make yourself an organized storage room. It doesn't have to be super big and fancy like this, but even if you just have an area where you have a few chests, you have an item frame or a sign on it where you've labeled what's in there or what group of items are in there, it will make finding what you need a whole lot easier to do. And also, if you're looking to move around your world quicker, once you found yourself a saddle up a horse and you'll be able to travel around your world much faster than by moving around on foot. Next, I have some tips for you for growing crops. Go ahead and put yourself a bucket of water down, because the bucket of water is going to hydrate the crops for you, and a bucket of water will reach out 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you go out another 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can put another bucket of water on the other side right here, because they will both reach out in 4 blocks in each direction, giving you a nice large area for crops to go. To make all things crops easier, take a half slab or a slab and put it in the top of the water. Remember, not a full block, but a slab. The water is still there, but now you cannot fall into it. This is also a good place to put torches for light, because you do need to have light around your farm just to make sure that the crops don't pop up and are properly growing. Next, if you're planting a single crop, your crops will grow faster if you separate them by a row, because whenever you have crops right beside each other in a diagonal, whenever they are diagonally across from another crop of the same type, they will grow slower. So if growing a single crop, make sure to grow them in rows with a space between. This does not count for crops that are different though. So we have carrots beside potatoes. They can go right beside each other just like this. It does not slow down the growth. They will all grow at that maximum speed, which is about 3 times faster. Next is melons and pumpkins. And to figure those out, what you want to do is you want to diagonally hoe the ground around your water, spaced out the same as we did the water over there, and go diagonal 4 blocks. Now what you're going to want to do is every other block go through and till up the ground until you get 4 blocks past this. What looks like we're 1, 2, 3, and that'll be our 4th spot. We do not want to go any further. Now what you're going to want to do is fill in the gaps. You're going to want all the tilled cropland to be, diagonal like this. You're going to end up with a checkerboard pattern that looks something like this. This is going to be for your melons and pumpkins, and all you're going to want to do is go down in a straight line, plant pumpkins down one row and melons down the other, and alternate back and forth. Doing this allows for the faster crop growth rate and fits the most melons and pumpkins in the smallest area possible. It may look a little confusing at first, but harvesting this is actually easy and they grow incredibly fast. After they have finished growing, the easiest way to harvest is actually just by going diagonal. As you can see, if you cut diagonally across, you won't have to worry about knocking up any of the stems. It just makes it incredibly easier to do while also getting that maximum speed of your crops growing. Next, I have for you a hack for growing sugarcane, which you're going to need a lot of in your world, especially if you're going to be trading with villagers and making fireworks and that sort of things. So most of you already know sugarcane can only be planted right beside water, but there is a perfect pattern to doing this to fit the most amount of sugarcane in the smallest amount of space possible. What you're going to want to do is count 4 blocks, and on that 5th block right here, place water, and then do this down a row however long you want to. We'll do maybe like 4 water sources. Now what we're going to do is we're going to count over 1, up 2, and put water right here. And then the same distance going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on that 5th put in water. 1, 2, 3, 4, on that 5th put in water. Come over and do that again. Over 1, up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now we do need to like fill in these slots down here, and we can continue this over as long as we feel like we want to. Now, like we've done elsewhere, make sure you go in and fill in the top with a half slab. And then what you're going to find is for all of the rows that go along the middle, you will be able to put a sugarcane in every single spot that's not where the water is. And of course, you're going to have some spots down the edges that aren't going to be able to have sugarcane because you don't have the blocks and all the spots. But what this is going to give you, it's going to give you the most dense sugarcane field that you can possibly make. Now all you got to do is sit back and wait for that to grow. And now going through and harvesting is easy, and you get a lot of sugarcane for only this little bit of space that you've used. Just this little space right here got us more than 3 stacks of sugarcane. A brand new pro tip for you as of 1.20 is if you need a lot of wood for things like making chests and hoppers and just other miscellaneous things that you spend wood on but you don't care what the wood looks like, bamboo is now your best answer, because bamboo actually grows incredibly incredibly fast. What you could do is plant yourself a small field of it, something like this right here. And as you're going about doing things around your base, building, mining, farming, whatever, you're gonna find that in very little time, your bamboo field has grown up to something like this. Now what you could do is go through and chop it all down with a sword right above ground level. That way it's able to regrow. And in no time, we got ourselves about 16 stacks of bamboo, which I can now go to the crafting table here. I can craft this into a whole bunch of blocks of bamboo, which if I wanted to, I can go through and convert down into something like chests for a storage room or something. In that short amount of time, we've gotten ourselves 25 chests, and that's going to collect together a whole lot faster than chopping down trees will. Next, you're going to want to find yourself a village. And first thing I recommend that you do is go through and just get rid of all the profession blocks that you don't want or need, because right now we're going to focus on actually getting a librarian. And for us to like successfully get one, we're probably going to have to make sure that there's no other perfection blocks here inside of the village. Once you've gotten rid of them, take yourself a lectern and go ahead and place it down. It could be inside a house, it could be outside a house, either way is fine. And you'll probably find a villager will link up to it, like this guy right here. Now I want to trap him in because I would like to have like full control of this dude and access to this dude. So I'm just going to pretty simply go through here and then put this over his head, and he is now trapped. He can't go anywhere. And if I really want to make sure I keep him safe, I can take a trap door, put it right here, and now nothing can get into him. Also, if I break this, he cannot get out any longer. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to keep resetting his trades until I find Fortune 3. So just keep breaking and placing the block down, or if you want to shortcut it, what you could do is you could take a sticky piston, put it right there, and you could do this right here, and it will also allow you to easily reset his trade. And we're gonna keep doing this until we get Fortune 3 on this villager, at which point we're gonna use some emeralds to purchase. You can trade paper with the librarian to get the emeralds that you need, or you can trade with other villagers to get the emeralds that you need. But ultimately, you're gonna get Fortune 3 because you're gonna need that for this next hack. And now that you have Fortune 3, you'll probably wanna put it on your pickaxe, because Fortune 3 is gonna take this 1 diamond that you would get from here. I totally forgot to do it. Let's just ditch this somewhere and pretend that didn't happen. Now, once you have Fortune 3, go ahead, place down an anvil, and you're going to want to put that on your pickaxe first so you can get more of them. It's definitely worth it. But get Fortune 3 on your pickaxe, because now when you go down and find diamonds, instead of getting 1 diamond per time that you mine, you're going to get on average about 2.5 to 3 diamonds every single time that you go through and go on a mining trip. So those 8 ore right there turn into 14 diamonds, which is just under 2 diamonds per ore, which is very nice to get that extra boost. Also, this works on crops. So this is a row of 18 planted potato plants. And as you can see, that gave me almost 2 stacks of potatoes. Fortune works on a lot of different things, but these are 2 of the biggest things that you can use Fortune on. It does work on most ores. It does work on these crops, but not the other ones over there. And it is definitely 100% worth using all the time. Another pro tip is always carry a water bucket with you. It could be super helpful for situations like this where you need to get down to an area that's otherwise pretty hard to get down. All you got to do is put down your water bucket there, let that water flow for a moment, and you can go ahead and you can take it on down. And then when you're done going through and collecting the iron and the copper and whatever else you needed to come down here for, you can very easily take that water elevator back up. Once you get back up to the top, pick up your water bucket and you're good to go. Remember getting all those potatoes earlier that you can now very easily get a whole lot of? Well, it's time to actually turn this into a good permanent food source. Go ahead and use that to get a couple of pigs. You can do the same with wheat and cows, but pigs are honestly going to be the best, easiest way to do this. So don't let the sheep bully the pigs either. Get out of here. Make yourself a little fenced in area, and now your pigs are trapped. Now you can go the traditional route of putting down a gate in there that you can open and close, but the easy way to get in and out is to put down a carpet. Now you can go through, you can breed up your pigs and make a big pig farm right here, and you will have yourself a very easy to get, good, sustainable food source in your world. Now, if you want to make cooking all that food or smelting items a little bit quicker and easier, what you're going to want to do is make yourself an automatic furnace. Put a furnace about 1 block high, put a chest out in front of it, and a hopper into the back. Now put a hopper into the side, put a chest on top of that, put a hopper on top facing down into the furnace, and put a chest on top of that. Now you can put all of of that coal that you've gotten and all those pork chops that you've gotten to good use, they will go through and automatically smelt and automatically pop down into here. But you can easily do better than that. Go ahead and make yourself a bunch of furnaces. Put maybe 8 side by side. Place yourself a double chest somewhere right here in the middle. Run a couple hoppers into that and run the other hoppers into those. Place a bunch of hoppers into the back of those furnaces. Place a bunch more hoppers into the tops of the furnaces. On the top row here, go ahead and go out 2 blocks on one side and go up 1, and 1 block on the other side and go up 1. Put a powered rail, a regular rail, and then powered rails all the way down. Power this side, and actually take this one right here, make it a half slab instead, and put the powered rail back on there just like that. Do the same thing on the back side too. Go over 2, go up 1, go over 1 and go up 1. Rails can sometimes be kind of funky, so if you need to, go ahead and extend out your rail on one side. That way when you place down this side, they actually connect over properly. And now that you have that set up the same way, go ahead and put yourself a chest minecart here and a chest minecart there. Put yourself a lever here and a lever here. And now whatever it is you want to smelt a lot of, go ahead and select this top chest right here. Put all of that item in there. Select the bottom one right here. Put all of your fuel into that. Turn that guy on first, turn this guy on second. Make sure you have power going along the back side, just like we do right here. And now all of a sudden, in just seconds, we've got ourselves a pretty massive super smelter here that is very easy to make in the early game, so you can smelt things down really quickly. And lastly here, if you need a little bit of extra fuel for your furnace system, once you've found some dripstone, go ahead and build a few blocks up in the air like so. And for every piece of dripstone that you have, go ahead and put one underneath a block. Box this area in with whatever blocks you have available and put some lava above it like so. And then put some cauldrons down below that. These will fill up with lava over time, which will smelt 100 items per bucket of lava. And you can keep expanding this as you get more dripstone blocks. Just go ahead and add more in. Easy to do, just go through, expand it out like so, and put down those additional lava buckets. They do take a little while, but they run all the time. So every so often, go through with some buckets, pick up the lava, and then dump it into your furnaces here, and even into the hoppers in the back to create a little bit of a backlog. And in no time, you'll have yourself infinite fuel. If you enjoyed these early game tips and trips to start your perfect world, please leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and drop me a comment down below and let me know your biggest and best tips that you have, especially for those early game players. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.